server is up and running, it's starting, but it is not really lively. There's no interaction, there's nothing that really tells us the server is working. So you might want to log information from the different requests received by the server on the terminal, alongside some information like the request origin, the URL, and whether the request was successful or not, alongside the request code, which is maybe 400 when it is an error or 200 when it is successful, and so on. Also, you might want to create a whitelist of addresses which are allowed to perform requests on our server. This can also be done using some libraries, especially the course library. Also, every request, especially the resource creating request like post, put, and patch, has what we call a request body, and this body generally is in the application in the JSON format. So we can use a special library from Express to perform the body parsing URL and make sure everything is understood by our server. It also facilitates the handling of these URLs. So let's install rapidly these libraries and see how we can insert them in our server, on our server. So the first library we're going to install is the Morgan library, which is going to help us in logging every information concerning requests on the terminal, alongside the request outcome. So this is how we are going to implement that. After making sure Morgan was installed, we need to use it here in the constructor this.app.use. So we need to add Morgan types. Once it is done, we should have no errors. Here we need the parameter, which is dev. This dev will enable the logging of the request in the dev mode. That is the information, the minimal setup information concerning a request in the development mode. There are some different modes, you can take time and explore them yourself. To parse the body of every request in a JSON compatible format, you can use the Express.js function, which is going to intercept every request and parse its body. Okay, like so. So the next thing we would like to do is to convert every request body into a JSON compatible format, especially the post, put, patch request, which generally comes alongside with a body section. So to do that, we are going to install a package called body parser. So this package will permit us to convert the body part of the request into a JSON compatible format, and this is how we're going to insert it. The first thing to do is to import body parser from body parser, then we use it here. However, if you do not want to use body parser, there's a function embedded in Express which allows you to do exactly the same thing, which is so both of these lines, line 10 and 11 does exactly the same thing, so you can choose to use either of them. I'm just going to comment this out and we're going to move forward. The next thing you would like to install is Helmet, which helps you protect information, sensible information from your server, like what is the technology you use to develop your server. And for that, we need to install the Helmet package. So after installing Helmet, we need to add this to our middlewares. Yeah, so Helmet, good. So it's imported automatically. Good, excellent. The next thing we would like to do is to make sure every request URL is well encoded, so as to convert every special symbol or every information found in the URL to a version that will protect us, or that will avoid as much as possible mistakes or interpretation errors. So for that, we just need to insert this function also embedded or also found in Express, which is express.url encoded. Good. And lastly, we would like to have a whitelist of all URLs or all addresses which are allowed to perform requests on our server. And for that, we are going to install the course library, which enables us to set or to define a set of URLs which are allowed to perform requests on our server. So let's install the course library. After installing the course library, this is how we're going to use it, same as every other library. We add it here as a middleware to our server. Use. We need to import this. And we need to install the type. And the course function needs some parameters. These parameters are the origin, the option, success statehood, and so on. But what really is important for us here is the origins. The origin can be an array containing the name of the various addresses which are allowed to perform requests on our server. For now, I'm going to allow everyone by putting down this star. This star represents any IP, any URL or address or server is allowed to perform requests on our API. And we are done. So let's start our server. Good. So we're going to perform our first request, which is the request from the previous video, the health change request. And you can see on the terminal we have the get health, which is a 200 code, which is a success. And here you have the time taken for the response, which is 3.2 milliseconds, and it was a get request. So these are the type of information we would like to receive on the terminal when performing a request. This also helps us understand that our server is actually up and running, is actually receiving some requests. Let's see what happens in case of an error. Let us add S on this, and so we have a 404 which states which labels that as a bad request. So with this we have a better server structure with a set of libraries that helps us solidify or add some layers of security on our server. In the next video, we are going to look at how we can add security with authentication, access control, middlewares, and role-based access control using GWT. We are going to look into middlewares too,